And while we're showing off cool snakes here at the facility, here's my HYPO Mystique. This is a HYPO gene, 1 copy of Onyx, 1 copy of Leopard. Produces the Mystique. You strip away some of that black with that HYPO gene we have in here, and you get this beautiful, beautiful red snake. It almost... What's up, snake fans? Dave Palumbo here for Muscle Serpents Daily, and I hope you're having a great weekend. It's a beautiful day here in Florida. I have a feeling, even up north, the weather is starting to get better for you guys. So just to spruce you up and put you in a better mood in case it isn't nice and warm up there, I'm going to show you some cool snakes. Just cool stuff that I love in my collection. It's one of those days. I want to see if we have anything hatching in the incubator. We had a couple, I think we had 1 clutch that was due to hatch today. We'll take a look at that. I don't think we have another boa litter due probably for another week or 2. We just got one obviously the other day. We'll take a look at that next week after that one sheds. Some really nice babies in there. And we're gonna have to try to figure out exactly what we got. I think I pretty much know, but there's some really nice stuff in there that we might have to interpret a few nuances. Like whenever we talk about pastel lines, where we're talking about multiple genes contributing to a certain color type or look of the snake, you know, it's open to interpretation, especially with boas. Pastel lines are not just recessive dominant, incomplete dominant. They are involve multiple genes contributing to certain looks of the snake. And so just because the mother was a certain pastel line, for instance, orange jasm or red russo, doesn't mean that the babies are going to inherit that. Now, how many of those genes they inherit is open to interpretation of how the snake looks. And if you're a breeder that's, you know, errs on the side of conservativeness, I always try to underestimate rather than overestimate. And then if down the road, when the snake starts getting older and someone else buys it from you, they're super happy because, oh, I didn't know all those reds were going to come in. Well, guess what? You got lucky. It's hard to sometimes predict. Even with the blue line boas that I have, those blues a lot of times don't come in for a year or 2. So you have to be patient with sometimes with these pastel lines, and that's always, once again, open to interpretation. All right, let's go into the snake room, see what I got. Pablo lost one of my bearded dragons. He left the cage open. I don't know if I'm going to find it today or maybe later tonight. We'll see. He's going to see his mother this weekend, so I don't want to put too much stress on him. It's no big deal. I'm sure it'll turn up. All right, stay tuned. Let's go into the snake room. All right. I heard some rattling in a cage. I thought there was a rat in here, and then I just opened up the cage, and my beautiful Sunglow Het Leopard girl is just cruising the cage. I don't know. You know, I bred her earlier this year with a Scoria Het albino. I didn't see any action. I mean, I didn't see any locks, and I don't think the male Scoria was old enough, to be honest with you. And I don't think she's rabid. She did refuse food, but she doesn't feel like she's a baby's in her at all. I mean, so, but stranger things have happened. So I'm gonna keep an eye on her just because when they start cruising around, sometimes it means they're uncomfortable and they're gonna give birth, but she has no baby. I don't feel any babies in her. She's like solid muscle. So she just might be looking to go for a little walk. I don't know. Sometimes boas get bored. She's like, I want a cage increase, a bigger cage. And actually, she's gonna get one. We're gonna be upgrading a lot of these boas to the bigger cages in the next couple weeks. And I might even be selling off some boas I have. Some breeders to make room. We'll see. She's beautiful though. You can see that the Het Leopard in her, that 1 copy of Leopard. It definitely makes her a much more interesting looking albino Sunglow. You can see that red head. It's crazy that we still call leopard a recessive trait. We know it's not. We know it's incomplete dominant. You can definitely see it in its single gene form. It's allelic to Onyx, which is a incomplete dominant. So if Onyx is incomplete dominant and they're allelic to each other, then by definition, leopard has to be incomplete dominance here. But One day someone will get the audacity to change it. But as of now, we still call leopard recessive. All right, Annie Hall, my anaconda. One day after she ate her pound-and-a-half rabbit, her first, she's looking good. The cage needs to be cleaned for sure. But the funny thing is she's sitting on the cool side of the cage. You would think that she would go and sit on the hot spot all the way on the other end, but she's not. She decides this is the right place for her. Maybe the ambient temperature is enough. You can tell she's not even moving. Usually she comes right to the edge of the opening. She'll explore the phone. She's full. She's digesting. And obviously this is a comfortable position for her. I was going to clean her cage, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to leave her. We'll leave her for a few more days here. She looks very content. All right, we have a little clutch pipping of ball pythons in the incubator. Looks like we have 5 decent, good eggs here. Hopefully they'll all go to term. They look like they're all good. We got heads sticking out of all of them. I think there was a head that this guy cut his egg, so he's obviously doing all right. This is black pastel leopard candy, which is a recessive, bred to a lesser orange dream albino. So we know that albino and candy are allelic to each other. So everything we're going to produce is going to be CANDINO. So it's going to be like an in-between super form of the albino and candy gene. A little purple hues in it. You can see it here actually, if I don't know if the camera's picking it up. The question is, will we get black pastel? Will we get leopard, lesser, etc., etc.? So everything's going to be albino. Everything's going to be CANDINO, I should say. So that's good. Everyone loves a nice albino, CANDINO. We love our red-eyed snakes. And we'll have to find out what happens when these things come out of the egg, probably by Monday. All right, finally, I see some breeding action with this male. He's been the worst. This female's a GHI. And I just kept her back because I really liked her. I don't know. There's no reason necessarily to keep a single gene female other than you happen to like the snake. And I didn't want to give her away for almost nothing. The male is a GHI acid lesser, 50% het clown. I'm not really worried about the clown. I wanted to produce some super GHI acids. I thought those would look really cool. So we'll see what happens. I got flies attacking me here in my little facility here, but hopefully we'll get some breeding action finally after a couple of years here. We've been trying to breed this girl now for like 2 years, and I really, really want to see what we can produce from her. This is an Enchi Orange Dream Champagne HYPO. So the Champagne HYPO is known as the Mimosa. So it's an Enchi Orange Dream Mimosa, het pied, and possibly yellow belly. Now, sometimes the Champagne het pieds look like pieds. This one doesn't, but she is just so amazingly, like, I don't know, erased is the best pattern best way I can say it, because Champagnes have a lot of like darkness in them, and because she's got that hypo gene in her and the orange dream in her, she's really spectacular. I've been trying to breed this girl now for a couple of years to an orange dream ultra male pied that's at hypo. So we'll see if we get anything. She doesn't seem to be showing to me, but we might get something. You never know. Definitely a very, very late ball python breeding season this year. And while we're showing off cool snakes here at the facility, here's my HYPO Mystique. This is a HYPO gene, 1 copy of onyx, 1 copy of leopard. Produces the Mystique. You strip away some of that black with that HYPO gene we have in here, and you get this beautiful, beautiful red snake. It almost looks like a blood leopard, to be honest with you. It's so pretty. And it's got the jet black eyes, from the blood gene. Blood, well, that's one thing. If you're not really sure if your snake is blood or not, look at to see if it has black eyes. So that'll tip you off every time. Anyway, growing these guys up. I might sell one of these, but this one more than likely will stay here, I think. Now this is a Mystique without the HYPO gene. This I'm more inclined to sell. This is a male. The great thing is they're also, all of these are also 66% het blood and 66% het Gilbert T positive. So we have a lot of other, there's some good potential here. Now this one's another, I have another Mystique here. So that's a male. Here's another male right here. Really nice. They all look a little different. Just like all leopards and onyxes look different. Obviously, if you get that HYPO gene in here, this looks the best. You know what the truth is? That this one could look the best, and I bet this one like will be the one that's het for, you know, blood and Gilbert T positive. It's always the one that's missing something in one respect, and then in another respect it's got way more potential. And I wouldn't be surprised if this was het blood, because you know what? This is, you know, basically the Mystique is similar, very similar to a leopard, even though it's one copy of onyx and one copy of leopard. But the pattern is very dispersed, and that's what when you have one copy of blood gene, that seems to do that really well. Now with this snake, it's dispersed, but you also have the HYPO gene in here, and HYPO does that too. So I'll bet you this one's het blood. No doubt about it in my mind. And we'll end with the snake. This is my HYPO Labby that's 100% het VPIT positive. I'll tell you one thing. My friend Tony Antonucci over there in Chicago at Chi-Town Constrictors, he put up a snake, man. I'll put the picture up. What a beauty. It was a VPIT positive visual Labby. I think it was IMG too. It was, oh no, it was a snow. I think it was a VPI snow. So it was VPIT positive, anery, and labyrinth. Absolutely gorgeous. And we could make this with this snake. This is, once again, this is HYPO Labby that's het VPIT positive. So we breed this to a VPIT positive. We could produce a VPIT positive Labby. That would be great. Maybe if we can breed this with a VPIT positive IMG, that would be even better. And we have some of those too. So when this little boy grows up in another year or so and he's ready to breed, we definitely have some snakes to put him to. Uh-oh. Peacock trying to steal my vegetables. No eating my vegetables. No stealing my pineapples over there. Nope. Get out of here. Look at this guy. What a beauty, huh? Not even afraid of me one bit. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today here at Palumbo's Pythons and Boas. We got to look at some really cool boas. This is like the exciting part of the season for me, because we got stuff hatching, we got eggs still being laid, we have boa litters, you know, being laid down now, and we still have some breeding action, which is crazy when you think about it. Next week, hopefully, I'm going to be setting up those snow carpet pythons. We have a lot. You know, I thought this was going to be a slow season, and we actually have a lot of baby snakes already. And the ball pythons haven't even laid yet. That's the scary part of the whole thing. But you know what? I'd rather it be done in segments rather than have everything happen at once, because then it's overwhelming. This way, if I have to, you know, sell some snakes to make room for some others, I have time. Because even if I get, you know, 5 or 6 or even 10 ball python clutches, you know, in the next 2 weeks, that still gives me 60 days, you know, before I have to worry about them being hatched. So, you know, it's the fun time of the season. It's the stressful time, but we love the stress, don't we? It's just so much fun. Okay, guys, if you're enjoying these videos and you have suggestions, put them in the comments below. Otherwise, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, hit that like button. I'll see you back Monday morning.